We're on 11B, guys. Go to page 230 in your textbook. We're going to be talking about the circulatory system. And now, the circulatory system. What is the circulatory system? Well, can I do my job? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. What is it? Okay, let me finish. The process in which the circulatory circulation, if multiple organs work together to do this job, then the animal has a circulatory system. Now, this is when multiple organs work together to transport the nutrients and oxygen to cells and remove waste and carbon dioxide. Okay? So that's what a circulatory system is. Okay, we're going to get into that more here in just a second after you get that wrote down. Okay? Moving on here. So then circulation. Let's talk about circulation. Well, there are some things needed. Cells need nutrients and oxygen. If they don't have nutrients and oxygen, then they're in some trouble there. They need nutrients and oxygen in order to get rid of waste and carbon dioxide.
Could we just put that they need nutrients and oxygen?
In order to get rid of waste.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Some animals have no circulatory system. And a circulatory system needs a fluid for transporting substances and a way to circulate that fluid. The insides of their bodies basically are bathed with a blood-like fluid called, well, we may get to that, I'm not sure, hemolymph. And that is, excuse me? It is, I'll tell you in just a second, it's a fluid basically inside the body, has to do with the blood. It's usually circulated by the animal's body. So let's talk about an open circulatory system. Includes blood-like fluid called the hemolymph, which is what I just said. And you can even write it like this, open system, and just abbreviate it that way if that helps. There's also a closed circulatory system, which includes the heart for pumping blood, whereas an open circulatory system is not. A closed circulatory system are more complex. They include a muscular heart, and what that does is pump the blood through through the system, through the atrium and ventricles and vessels and things like that. So a heart has one or two atria and one or two ventricles. There are three kinds of blood vessels, okay? The first one is the arteries. The second one is the veins, and the third one is the capillaries. The arteries carry the blood from the heart, and the veins return blood to the heart. So arteries go away, veins move back to the heart, okay? Capillaries connect the arteries and the veins. They connect their smaller pieces. Smaller vessels, I guess you could say. But anyway, remember, arteries carry blood from the heart, away from the heart. Your veins return the blood to the heart. It's a cycle, okay? Your capillaries connect the arteries and the veins. So they're smaller pieces that connect, okay? Now, here we have...
Do we have to draw that? I don't know if I can draw that.
Here we have, no, you don't have to draw this. If you just listen closely, you'll see in your textbook on page 231. You see a picture of the two-chamber heart, which is the first picture on page 231. And then you have the three-chambered heart, and then you have the four-chambered heart. Okay? Now, different species, different animals have different heart systems. basically, circulatory systems, rather. Example, a fish has a two-chambered heart and a single cycle pathway for the blood. You don't have to write this down unless it's on the next one. Alligators, crocodiles, and mammals typically have a four-chambered heart, okay? I don't want to say what has a three-chambered heart, but you see it there in the middle, and I despise those little critters. Now, let's move on to the respiratory system, which is our breathing, okay? So, respiratory system is the multiple organs that bring in oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from the body, okay? So, there are two different ways, kinds of animals that have different types of respiratory systems. You'll see a picture of a salamander is a lungless salamander, and it actually relies on the skin for its respiration, meaning for the gas exchange and for bringing the oxygen in and out. All right, everybody got that? All right, so let's move on to move on. Animals respire in different ways. Some, listen, respire through their skin. Insects have a tiny opening called spiracles. That's how they respire. Animals which live in water, they have gills. That's how they respire, breathe, I guess you could say. The gills have large surface areas, and that can diffuse in and out of the gill structure. The gases can go in and out for their breathing. And you see the pictures of what we just looked at there. Missed something here. Yep. Let me make sure I did. Non-fish vertebrates respire using lungs, of course. The trachea connects them. You don't need to write this down. Capillaries in the lungs are where the gas exchange takes place. You do need to write that down. Capillaries in the lungs are where the gas exchange takes place. You probably do need to write down the trachea connects the nose and the mouth to the lungs. The trachea is the body part that connects the nose, the mouth to the lungs.
You don't have to write the very.
And look at the trachea on this animal at the top of the page. And you can see how the trachea, the air comes in, goes down through the trachea into his lungs. Look at the birds. You can see they have a trachea as well, and there's air sacs, and you can see the little lungs on the birds there. Are there some sort of pelican or something?
Pelican, yeah, for sure.
Okay, you don't have to answer these questions or write them down. We're at the end of this. This section was very small.
Wait, is this all the terms we were doing? Are we done with terms?
You haven't, for now, yes, okay. So, yes, Noah. All right, so let's go over these questions. What is the main difference between an open circulatory system and a closed?
One is open and one is closed.
Okay, come on, give me more idea than that. Ezra, read the answer instead of sleeping.
I don't know the answer.
Well, it's on the TV.
Yes.
The closed circulatory system carries blood in closed vessels, and open systems do not. They're just quite the opposite of each other, okay? All right, the next question's not up here, but I'm going to talk to you about it. Which vertebrate group has a circulatory system consists of only one single pathway for blood? That would be fish. Okay? In a double circulatory system, where do the two pathways from the heart lead? Well, one leads from the lungs and the other leads from the rest of the body. So they sort of connect.